The flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If you could please stay standing for.
We would like to have a moment of silence for Michelle Lucas, please. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today for what hopefully will be an abbreviated meeting. Let's start off. A couple recognitions. It's National Girl Scout Day. Celebrate the anniversary of the first meeting organized by Miss Juliette Lowe. And if you are fortunate enough to travel down to Savannah, Georgia, I can personally recommend taking a tour of Mrs. Lowe's home, where it all began. And also I want to recognize our local, most ardent scout leader and promoter and frequent BOE meeting attendee, Mrs. Fran O'Connor. And a quick plug, as you've probably seen if you've made it to the store recently, Girl Scout cookies are now being sold all over town. $7 a box. I will not leave any comment on that. Second, it is very appropriately International School Meals Day, a movement to create awareness about healthy eating for children around the world. We will celebrate later this evening with a presentation by the director of our school meals program, Ms. Deanna Michelini. Two quick items. Jericho schools will be closed next Friday in honor of Eid al-Fitr. And finally, as we discussed, juniors, pay attention. As we discussed student parking early in the year, I want to remind all juniors and the parents of all juniors who want to park on campus next school year, there is a mandatory capital M all the way through capital Y in-person meeting this Wednesday, the 18th at 7 p.m. Any junior and at least one of their parents must attend if they want a parking pass for next school year. If you have any questions, please contact Assistant Principal Finley. Unless any of my colleagues have anything that they want to add in the interim. Then I would love, very quickly, to move to Miss Michelini. As we move to our presentation on School Director's Lunch, I'd like to introduce Miss Deanna Michelini, the director of our school meals program, and she's brought a friend who I apologize, I don't know.
Terry O'Donnell.
Terry O'Donnell. Cisco?
No, Aramark.
Aramark. I apologize. Aramark. It's the supplier. We have the CEO of Aramark. Yes, I'm joking.
And I just want to say thank you to the entire board, to Victor, Deanna for putting this together in a short time. After I expressed interest. But I really enjoy, and I think the whole community enjoys your presentations, because I think school lunch, the food is so important. Thank you.
Hello. All right. Thank you, everybody, for inviting me and Terry here to speak with you. We have a brief presentation. What we just want to tell you a little bit about to start with is our commitment to Jericho. Student nutrition, I'm just going to read that a little bit. We are more than a meal service provider. We partner in powering student success. I think a lot of the principals could attest for this. I love meeting with the students, meeting with the teachers, getting their feedback. They're my clients, they're my customers. So the student lunch program is really all about them. But then, of course, it's about nutritional standards and while also reflecting the unique needs of our school community. So, we'll move to the next slide. Time of the partnership. I don't know if anybody knows this, but we started in 2022. There was a need that we, Jericho, I guess, wanted to outsource a little bit, see what a food service management company could do for Jericho. So we were awarded the emergency contract in December. May of 2023, which was like 5 months later, we did have our first state audit, and we passed with flying colors. And then we had our rebid, and we did win the rebid. New York, it is lowest bid, so we've won the rebid. And now 2026, New York State has universal free meals. So everybody here is entitled to a free breakfast and a free lunch every single day.
Ms. Ashley, when does the contract run through, the current contract?
You're in year 3?
Yeah, we're, yeah, so.
Out of five.
Five, so 2
So
more
it's
years.
5 years,
Okay.
right, correct. And what I put together here is just a little bit meals dashboard. This is comparing the meals to last year. So yes, obviously there are free meals, but that doesn't mean that just because we have free meals, that the students are gonna participate in the meal program. They like what we're offering. So you can see there is a significant increase in breakfast and in lunch. Breakfast now, we do offer breakfast at the elementary schools. Lunch, you can see there's a huge increase. So this time last year, comparing September to February, you can see we're up almost 600. Just in case you're wondering what ALC is, that's a la carte. So that is second entrees, that's water, that's anything else like that. And if you look on the left side of the board, the summary, total, that's total meals per service day. So if you think about it, we have about 3,100 kids and change here. So we're serving about 3,200 meals a day.
And the reason that's higher than the number of students is a la carte sales through formula, through the state formula, translates into meals. So that's why you have actually 3,250, even though it's higher than the enrollment.
And something important to call out is the lunch participation percentage. 75% participation in Jericho is amazing. And really a testament to Dina and the team here and all the hard work that they put in. That is great participation. We don't see that high of students participating in districts of similar demographics. So really, really great job and one important to call out.
Thank you. And I will tell you also, the elementary schools have a little over 85% participation. So yeah, that's incredible. Like Carrie said, and from talking to my coworkers as well, it's incredible participation.
And we've seen a 10% participation increase in breakfast over last year. So while it may not be as high as lunch, we are trending in the right direction.
Does anybody have any questions?
What does MPSD stand for?
Meals per service day. Yeah.
So that means I get breakfast, you're up. We're averaging 360 meals per service day across the district.
And $3,071.
In a la carte, so that encompasses second entrees, snacks, anything like that falls into a la carte.
That's sales per day?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And all that money goes back to the district as well.
Do you have any data from us or other school districts, why, if it's free, you're not having 95%?
So we actually are in the middle of running a student viewpoint survey that Aramark runs for 3 weeks. And that will give us some insight as to the reasons why some students don't participate. And we can share that with you once the survey is closed.
Well, just on any given day, you have less than 10%, more than 5% of absentees.
Okay.
So, you know, that's
That makes
part of
sense. Then
it.
that's most of it then. Perfect. Thank you.
And then allergies and such, yep, right. So some of the regulations for every single breakfast and lunch meal that Dina and team serve here, they need to meet certain regulations as set forth by the federal and state government. So when the Healthy Hunger Free Kids Act was rolled out a little over 10 years ago, it was a focus on more whole grains, fruits, vegetables. Every meal has to have a fruit or a vegetable at lunch. Every breakfast meal needs to include a fruit as part of that meal. And all of the menus are designed to meet certain specifications at each of the different grade levels. So it is designed for K to 5, 6 to 8, 9 to 12. And as far as the last, every meal that Dina has created has to go through a menu planning program, meet those guidelines, and then once we can show that that has been done, the district gets an additional 6 cents worth of reimbursements. It's actually 9 cents now, worth of reimbursements as well. So just a little bit about our menus. The menus that we have in place we are meeting the federal guidelines, the state guidelines, and then in addition, Jericho has contract specifications that we need to meet But, you know, our menus are very well balanced. They are reviewed by chefs and dietitians. We have wholesome ingredients. Some of the brand name foods that we use, this is just a small number of the brand recognition that we have in our meals. And, you know, again, we have to be mindful of, you know, our calorie restrictions, our salt limits. They all have to meet sugar limits and saturated fat as well.
And it just goes over a little bit about our partnership with, you know, the different brands that we use and stuff like that. But I will tell you, we do not use Lender's Bagels, we're Bagel Boss. Of course,
Very important.
freshly delivered every day.
That was written into the contract.
Yes, it absolutely was. Okay, and this is just, I put together daily breakfast options at all the schools. So if you could just, you know, take a look at this, I don't want to read every one, but high school, we have the hot entree of the day. If anybody looks at the menus, you could see it changes on a regular basis. Recently, Michaela, we had the meeting with the students, and they wanted to see a hot bowl. So we did it. We did a breakfast bowl, we did scrambled eggs and tater tots, and they really liked it. They liked I will tell you, this school, I'm sure a lot of schools are like that too. They wanted their sriracha on it, so we had the sauce there for them. So that was a hit. So we're gonna start, you know, putting that into a regular rotation as well. The homemade chocolate chip and blueberry squares are delicious. That's a big seller. Jennifer, you're gonna be happy to see the French toast sticks. We had them today.
We should call out too that the waffle in the picture, that is a made in-house Belgian waffle.
That's not the Eggo waffle that you have partnership
No.
with?
That's not, no, that's a homemade, whole grain
This
Belgian
is usually
waffle.
not my question, but how does a Pop-Tart meet any dietary
They are
nutritional standard?
They are different than the Pop-Tarts that you receive in the stores that you go into the supermarkets and purchase. They are made for whole grain, they are whole grain, they are made and specifically for K-12.
And you know what, it's just, it's also a different fun offering. They're in school.
Wait, hold on, no, I wasn't, absolutely, Pop-Tarts are a blast.
Yeah,
I'm
something
not
different
arguing.
and fun. I will tell you, we
But you
do
don't
not
toast
sell-
them, so I don't understand how you, the Pop-Tarts
I
are supposed to.
know, I know. Our
Pop,
biggest
so-
seller at breakfast is by far the bagels. And we also do have, I know some of you might have tried the flavored cream cheese. We make homemade scallion and cinnamon cream cheese. So that's really outrageous also. Middle school is a little bit different just because we have a little bit more of a time constraint there. So we do offer, I want to say it's more of like a little grab and go. They have their bagels, they have their cream cheese. The cream cheese for them, we do butter and cream cheese with bagels. They have the assorted muffins as well, the fruits, all the cereals as well. And that's usually how the yogurt comes packaged.
Why can't we have like a pre-made sandwich for middle school, like grab and go?
So it has to do with the time that middle school starts. It starts at 7 o'clock and the staff just starts to get in at 6:30. So it's a little bit of, yeah. We have added, since we started middle school, I think it was about a year and a half ago, Victor, right? Breakfast there, and we really just started with bagels. It was like, do you want a bagel, do you want a bagel? But now we're starting to roll out. Perhaps that's something we could work towards.
Do they swipe, even though this is all, everybody swipes each time they go
Yes,
through?
yes, we still have to keep track, yep. So this way, if some of the students do take two, so if they can't, one is gonna be, breakfast is an extra $2, and if they want another lunch, it's $3.
And does the free swipe show up on the, since there's no charge to the parent, does it show up on their report?
Yes, it does, yeah. And then just like, you know, if you go to a steakhouse or something like that, everything after is a la carte. So if they do want that second lunch or breakfast, if they do want an additional juice or milk, if you do see charges for like $1 or something, it is,
How long does the swipe process take for each person?
I would think it's pretty quick.
Couple seconds.
Yeah. Oh, you mean for them to swipe or for you to see it?
Well, like, is there, from what I've been told, they have to answer whatever the name or something?
So the kids enter their number,
They have to enter their number.
yes.
Is there any way that we can make that process quicker so the line moves faster?
So it really, I think Chad and Sarah could probably attest to middle school. We've gotten that like a lot quicker. The beginning of the school year, I will tell you, especially with the incoming 6th grade, because in elementary school, I want to say we baby them a little bit more. Not all of them know their numbers, but we have a pretty quick system. There was even one time, I want to say about a year ago, that we were timing them, and it's pretty good. Yeah, it's not very long, it really isn't.
Like less than 10 seconds? or?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Each person, but the line's gotten shorter, the line is a big
Yeah.
problem. So,
Yeah, the sixth grade every year, especially at the beginning of the year, it's just volume. And at that point, the kids are still learning their number, so it takes a couple of weeks to go through that, and then, again, I think we added
A POS
a
system.
POS
Yep.
system at the middle school just to try to speed it up more.
Yeah.
So that's what we did this year, which helped a lot. So after we got through maybe mid-September, the lines were moving at that
So
point.
right now we have two?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you think we could add another one would be even faster?
We don't have enough room. We barely fit a second one in.
I see.
In order to get the kids, through. The first couple of weeks is still, with the kids trying to remember their numbers, it's still gonna be a challenge, especially at the sixth grade.
Right.
But I think we got, to Dina's point, we got it pretty down packed.
Because I know like the time strain for middle school in the morning is
Yeah.
very, very tight. Like they either miss or they're not gonna be able to eat.
Yeah.
Like I know for a fact, so.
Yeah. But
It's a challenge.
If somehow we can improve that process so everyone they don't need to wait on the line for that long.
You're talking about breakfast?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the breakfast is pretty good. I mean, middle school right now, I think we're averaging maybe like 60 to 70 breakfasts a day, and it is pretty quick. It really is. And I think some of the teachers also might let them be a few minutes late. They wanted to come and get something and go back to class. I think they're pretty good like that. And this is just elementary breakfast options also. They have some of the little hot entrees of the day. They have the fresh bagels, the yogurt cups. So hot and middle school options, we do have a ton of selections, ton. Everybody, I'm sure, could see the menu. We change the entree of the day, every day. Pizza, I'm gonna show you pictures later. I love our pizza. We have cheese and pepperoni. Specialty is changed weekly, with input from the kids also. Instead of putting everything out now, because I think it's just a little bit too much, we kind of started the beginning of the year doing the chicken patties Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and hamburgers and cheeseburgers Tuesday and Thursday. It really has worked out well for that because it's not too many options. High school, we do have the rotating bar, which is really, really amazing. It started as a nacho bar, and then kids were getting a little tired of that. Nachos every day. Yeah, in the beginning of the school year, it's crazy. But now we make it pasta. This week we have meatball, which was a great suggestion. So we have meatball in different sauces. The kids are loving that. We made it into a yoga bar, and the baked potato bar is pretty popular as well. Deli bar, we have a boar's head cold cuts, we have tuna. They can have the different toppings, salad, they could choose their protein, whatever they want on it, and then the bagels.
Do you guys always have like a vegetarian selection for someone?
Yeah, there's a bunch of vegetarian selections on here, yeah, every day. And I think I forgot my favorite on here, I'm sorry, the hummus. We make a homemade hummus. I know I definitely brought some samples to everybody in here, well, not everybody, but people in here. It is amazing. But every day we do have many vegetarian options.
Before you run the board, we got a sampling.
Okay, sorry. Maybe he needs to try it, yeah.
Easier to come by and see during.
Yeah. And these are just some sides that are available too. I'm really proud of the way my staff puts together these vegetables. We get fresh vegetables and fruits delivered on a weekly basis. They're amazing. They just pop with color. They're not overcooked. The green stays green. And these are all the selections the kids have. We're not throwing out, all of these fruits every day, but they have multiple fruit and vegetable selections every day.
Are you saying everything on this list is fresh?
It comes
Yeah.
in fresh.
Yeah,
Everything on the list is fresh, okay?
yeah.
And don't we have to
Well,
serve,
beans are canned.
I know,
Yeah.
but don't we have to serve whole milk, or is that not a law?
So whole milk, that actually just,
The regulations just
Yeah.
changed in January, we don't need to, it's not
Okay.
required.
Got it.
and these are your elementary options. We have the hot entree of the day. Same, you could say the sandwiches, sun butter and jelly. Oh, the hummus I included on here. They have the salads as well. We just started incorporating a cereal lunch, and we just do Cheerios at the elementary schools, and they seem to be really, really enjoying it. And same with the sides as well. And a couple of pictures. So Michael was so kind to reach out to me and say, you know what, I think it might be something fun and different, and with the students, you know, I think the students will like if some of the staff served the students the food for the day. So we did in January. Some staff members got behind and the counters, and they were serving the students, and they really liked them. And maybe I'm thinking maybe we should do it in middle school soon, maybe, right?
You guys were very kind and you were so patient with us. And by the way, it was Victor's idea,
Oh,
so I'm
okay.
wondering whether it was a cruel trick on Victor's part. But it was a lot of fun. Thank
Next time you're cooking.
Thank you. Some other pictures. This is the rotating bar that I was talking about. So we have the yogurt up there, we have the meatballs, that's a baked potato bar.
These are real pictures from Jericho, or these like McDonald pictures with Big
Oh,
Mac?
I took these pictures. These are real pictures, yeah.
The table.
That's the yogurt bar up there. Yeah, so they really do like this.
She had the dry ice on her, so that's why the students know.
Yes.
Is there allergy labeling at all on these bars, so students know what contains like top 9 allergens?
So I don't have allergies labeled on here, but we're not free. I believe your child is sesame, if I'm not mistaken, right? Okay, but we are nut free. I specifically do get my bread not from Cisco, from Rockland Bakery, just because of that. But I don't have any list, but we don't have, I know eggs are a top allergen.
I think online you have it, don't you?
We
do.
We
We
have
have
it
it
online.
It's been online, I didn't know if
Yeah,
there's been any change in
Yeah,
using
no, it is
or
online though, but it's not
You're
listed
on this.
here.
And that's why we also have the point of sale system as well.
Is that
Correct.
Yes.
Right.
So the kid has their allergies in the system, so if they swipe and they take something, then
Yeah, and I will tell.
presumably the system spits out, you should be.
Right.
Yeah, and I will tell you, like, there was, one of my staff members was doing snack in the middle school snack window, and somebody had an apple allergy, and they wanted an ice pop, and it had an apple in it, and she wouldn't give it to her, and the student was a little bit upset, but I said, you know, they came to me, but we're gonna follow that to a T. Unless the nurse or the parent calls me, I am gonna take that food away, because God forbid, you don't want, any type of reaction.
Sorry, is your presentation done? I was just
Oh,
waiting
no,
for you guys
well,
to
here.
finish before I ask
Oh,
my
here,
question.
okay, this is something that I'm really proud about. Aramark does a great job. We call them LTOs, limited time offerings. Every month, we kind of have like a feature entree. Last month, it was the cheeseburger nachos with pickle queso. That happened to be our most popular one by far. We had that obviously in the nacho area. The kids love it. We usually have this for multiple days because sometimes the students might be a little leery, their friend might get it, then they're gonna try it, so we do have it for multiple days. And then, a lot of times it becomes really popular, then we can incorporate it on a menu in the future.
Again, these are real pictures, these are
Yes.
marketing pictures from
Yeah,
Amazon.
Sam, they're my pictures, I took them.
I have to ask, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So,
Real pizza.
yeah, real pizza, so these are the specialty slices, just a couple of them. So we have the bruschetta pizza, which was the first time we did it this year, really popular, a vegetarian pizza. The middle, one of my favorites, the buffalo chicken pizza, and the end is the Hawaiian pizza. And what I really like that we do also is just those little touches, throwing the scallions on the pizza. It elevates the program and just brings it to another level. And I think the students really enjoy that, because it looks like you're going into a pizzeria.
In the middle picture, if you look closely at the top part of it, that's our courtyard, so you know it's taken here.
Kenny knows AI can generate that. For Jericho, post Jericho courtyard, it's post Jericho courtyard in fact.
So just, we really are, invested in being a part of the community here is so important to us. Aramark is a very data-driven company. We pride ourselves in all of the surveys that we do. Like I had mentioned earlier, we have a current student survey out, which we have had great participation in so far. And our, looking to see where, where we close it out. We also survey our principals, we survey our clients. So it really is important for us to get that feedback, use that data to continuously improve our program. But, Dina and the team here do an incredible job, and it really is evident in all the pictures that you just saw, and the participation as well. So, questions?
Jen, do you have a question?
Yes, I have a few questions, I was just waiting for them to finish. Once again, thank you, and I do have to mention, I've walked through your kitchen just a handful of times. It's spot clean and it smells like mom's kitchen, like it feels like, like I wouldn't have, like, it's a cafeteria, of course, it's not a home kitchen, but it really feels very homey, and it smells good, and I think that really contributes to the kids even wanting to eat there, because I think if the kitchen doesn't smell good, you're not gonna want to eat there. So I just need to put that out there. So a few questions. What time does middle school breakfast finish?
7:30,
It finishes at 7:30?
the breakfast?
Yeah.
Right, we're 7 to 7:30.
Oh, okay, so it's like as soon as the kids start classes, it's
Yeah,
sort of.
it's a little tighter, yeah.
And high
But
school?
just say if a kid like came to not be mom and
Yeah.
dad, we
Okay, and high school, what time does breakfast finish?
high school,
Like later?
they kind of linger
Yeah.
a little bit. So high school's supposed to be 8 to 9, but they might linger till 9:15ish.
Okay, and then lunch, middle school, what time, well, I guess, I know there's a bunch of periods.
It's the periods, and I will
It's the
say,
periods.
so middle school, I believe, ends at 12:30, if I'm not mistaken. High school ends at 1 o'clock, but because we know so many students do not have lunch,
Correct.
we are open until about like 1:20ish.
So the lunch stuff.
Yes.
What about like past 1:20, let's just say a kid's, once again, they didn't get a chance to eat. Is there anything that they can just like grab, or there's just like no one there to charge them, and like,
So,
there's nothing there like left over,
I
there's
mean, I know we have the after school for the middle school between 2 and 3.
okay.
The high school after 1:20,
And I'm not saying hot entrees, I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
no,
like, is there anything that's,
it would be primarily vending machine at that point.
okay. Was there anything on that menu that just could be like left over and like someone can just ring them up? Let's just say it's 2 o'clock, 2:30, they know
We
they're
don't have
staying.
the staff there.
There's no staff, okay, I understand. What happens to leftover food?
so I will tell you, this account is fantastic at not wasting food. So we really know how to cook accordingly. Because we do have that middle school snack window, like just say we had 10 servings of meatballs left over, we could sell those at the middle school snack window. If we had some
Maybe for
macaroni.
the after school.
Yeah, I'm sorry, yeah, for the
Okay.
after school, yes, the after school,
Okay.
the middle school snack window. So we'll have some leftover pizza, we
Okay.
sell that at the middle school snack window. So
Okay,
that's usually what we do.
So-
Occasionally,
so there's like, I wanna say almost no leftover food?
and some food then gets, like, say we had some chicken tenders and they were cooked and then we pulled them off accordingly. And you know what, we might make a chicken Caesar salad or a wrap, so we really try to repurpose it
Okay.
and not have that waste.
Okay, so there's no waste that we would say like maybe we donate to.
I
Okay.
wouldn't, yeah.
Fine. And as far as the bagels being left over, you said we get fresh bagels every day, are we like literally going through all our bagels that we get
So I
delivered?
will say occasionally there might be some left over if we're not selling them after school at the snack window. What the middle schoolers really like heated bagels, so we will take the bagels from the day before and those could be some of the heated bagels.
Fine, so
Yeah.
since we're talking about heated, because that brings me to a question I had. We spoke about a toaster last time.
Yeah.
You said you would look into it.
So here's my thought, we could totally get a toaster, I think that takes a little bit of time.
Yes,
And
but not everyone's
yeah.
gonna wanna use it, and maybe it's like a 4-slice or 8-slice toaster, a commercial one, it sits there.
I wouldn't put it out.
I
That
thought,
would
I
be
said,
fair.
I thought we talked about it and it was a burn
Is
risk,
it?
so we decided not to do that.
How is it a burn risk? We're talking about high school kids, they go to these, hotels all the time, they put the toaster, I mean, like, I don't think it's a
Makes
burn.
you toast your own bagel?
If we
Come on,
can't, if we
stop.
can't rely on these high school kids to be toasting their own bagels, then I seriously,
Have you
And I
seen
think
them?
it also might
I'm-
come across
I'm not comfortable.
contamination.
Yeah.
Having a toaster out there. I'm sorry.
It's so funny, the Four Seasons never makes me toasted bagel.
Really?
It's at the hotel, really? I didn't know that.
They just don't like you, Sam. So definitely no, like it's like a hard no,
That's a hard one.
it's a hard no.
Next time.
Thanks.
Next time bringing it up again.
Thanks, okay, so, as far as, I know the second, like lunch or breakfast costs money, are they allowed to get a third?
Yeah.
Oh, they
Oh,
are?
yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
there's
many
no,
kids do.
okay, so I wasn't sure
Yeah,
if
there's
there,
no
if there's
cap
a
on that,
limit.
yeah.
Okay,
Well, hopefully the child has money in their account.
right,
Yeah.
but if they don't you still like charge it and it just goes negative?
Not for a second. Not for a second.
Oh, not for a second,
Even in the past,
okay.
for the second meal, no. There would need to be money on the account.
Then how can an account ever end up being negative?
I will tell you, occasionally the kids, so
It's more about a timing thing though,
Yeah,
with the.
Oh, okay, cause I've seen my own account negative,
sometimes what happens is they put their number in and then they just go. So occasionally
Okay.
that might,
Couple slips.
yeah.
Right.
fine, so it shouldn't be. that
More
it's-
timing with the money when you put in the,
Yeah.
Can you just do me a favor then? When you look at it, the 5,000 policy on wellness, it has stuff in there about the number of meals they get and stuff
I
like that.
just shared it with Tina.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we'll take a look at that,
I don't
yeah.
know if it's consistent with what we do. or if it's-
Absolutely.
oh, perfect, thank you.
Fine, so as far, I know that, you put up their portion sizes. So obviously, high school kids probably get a bigger portion than elementary, than middle school. Has that ever been like reevaluated, like, cause let's just say there's a big percentage of kids even going for meal number 2 or 3, like maybe portions are just not big enough. At a certain point, these kids get very, very hungry.
Your contract specifications actually do have larger portions than what the USDA guidelines
Okay,
minimums, right? So like a 6-cut pizza you have and
Instead of an 8, right.
instead of an 8-cut pizza and
Okay.
certain meat alternative options are larger. But
so like.
and that is grade level, right? So K to 5 has certain portion sizes, 6 to 8 and then 9 to 12.
So-
But we do need to be mindful of the nutritional requirements
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
But
Well, right, we don't wanna be like overfeeding them, I get that, but, so, for example, French toast sticks, right, we always talk about this, one of my kids that loves them. Would the middle schooler be getting like 3 versus the high schooler gets 4, or how does it work?
So at breakfast time, they usually get 3, but for lunchtime,
Yeah.
it's the same, it's 4.
But why should it shouldn't be the same though? A high schooler should be getting a
That's-
bigger
that's-
meal,
That's part of
they're
the
just bigger,
guidelines
they're,
that we do.
Right. And that's something that we can look
But-
at as far as.
but
contract
it doesn't make sense, like, a 9th grader or 10th grader is definitely eating more.
Well, and it's also just not, so you have to think of it as the 5 components. So, right, so they're getting that's the bread. Then they could get their, if they want their sausage or cheese, if they're vegetarian, they
Right.
could get that. They could get fruit, they could get
Okay.
milk, and they could get their vegetable. So we try to really encourage all 5 components so that they aren't,
So,
you
but
know,
are
just-
all 5 components bigger in high school versus middle school, is that what you're saying?
middle school,
It's all, if we start with a half a
Same,
cup,
yeah.
and then they can get up to a cup of fruit and up to a cup of vegetable every day.
What do you mean, up to like,
They
like they
can
ask
take
for
a full cup,
seconds?
yeah, they can say, can I
For
have a
free?
second?
Oh,
It's part of their
yeah,
meal.
you could have like 2 fruits
Right.
and vegetables.
Oh, but
Yeah.
it's like included, they don't have to pay for it.
Right,
Right.
right.
Got it, okay. Can we just, did you guys ever consider breakfast for lunch? I know French toast sticks is one of the things, but like, what about, you guys do, you guys move
We
on to
serve
lunch?
breakfast for lunch, so on Wednesdays,
Yeah.
I can attest to that.
Because all those things, like you had cereal, you had yogurt, like, is that all available for
Oh,
lunch?
yeah, yes,
Okay, okay.
yes, that is.
Missed that. And then I guess one of my last questions is, Great Neck eliminated all added colors.
Oh, yeah, we spoke about that.
Yeah, so are we doing that?
So now if you look,
I'm just-
like on our like the snacks and stuff like that, and we.
Actually, our menus next year are starting that way.
Okay, so, like, yeah, but you guys, I think we spoke, you guys cut like 2 out of the 5. Are we
No, so
cutting
the,
all?
so the ones, so all the a la carte is already taken care of, because that was, Victor and I had discussed that, we're gonna start this school year. Any snack that we bring in here is not gonna have any artificial coloring.
Okay,
And I could attest to that, that the snacks that we bring in, that I'm selling right now, do not.
I don't know that we have many.
so what about Doritos?
They don't.
Oh,
You
they
could-
don't?
You could
They
see,
do
I'll
not?
take a picture and
Or
send it to you
Cheeto
tomorrow.
Doritos, don't they
don't.
have that
So the ones that,
number, whatever?
no,
Not anymore.
they're different.
They've got lots of other
They've been
chemicals, just not the
reformulated.
specific colors.
Correct.
And they've reformulated all the,
Yeah.
all the manufacturers have
Yeah.
reformulated.
But we-
Jen buy those for her house? 'Cause we-
Yeah, can I just get a few to take home, please?
Jen,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
talked
they're
about
not
that.
healthy, they're just better.
We
Or
talked,
healthier,
we talked about that. A lot of the snacks,
okay,
it's still the same brand, it's Lay's, it's Cheetos, it's Doritos,
Okay.
et cetera. But they're made differently for public, K-12 public schools across the country.
I did not know that. Okay, so, and then there's no coloring in any of our foods, obviously, that we're making, like, any of the hot foods, there, it's not, I know we're talking about snacks, but anything, and the Pop-Tarts, like you said, Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, no, and I think we even talked about the fruit roll-ups, it's made with a few,
Okay.
fruit puree.
I think we need to like put that in news day, 'cause I think it's important, Great Neck got it in news.
I think a lot of the schools are doing
Yeah,
that
oh,
now,
okay.
yeah.
Alright, well, thank you then, that's all I have.
So, you know, we have, you obviously know we have a multicultural community. Does the menu reflect, I know we talked about having some halal meals and they were trying them out a couple of years ago. I don't know, you know, if that is incorporated into the meal, into the regular menu and any other kind of ethnic. I mean, I saw there was the
So,
Mexican
right,
stuff.
so that's, a lot of our LTOs kind of like focus on that, little ethnic, you know, the ethnic, meals. But we tried halal, we did it for a little bit and then, it wasn't a huge, yeah.
Because I mean, I know that there was a whole group of Muslim parents that were really working hard to get halal meals brought into school. So, and I know they said there would be some trial, but I guess it didn't go.
Yeah, and I could always, that's something that we could
Yeah,
always,
we can
you know,
absolutely-
yeah.
Was it advertised? Was it advertised when they were doing
I
that?
don't remember, I think it might, I don't remember.
But I guess if it were well received, it would have gotten added to the menu.
I think I remember the conversation, but besides, you know, whether it was well taken or not, with, I don't know how many kids, you know, there are that even would request that, but then isn't that like a slippery slope, then what are we gonna do, add kosher meals too? We can't serve every.
It wasn't like to meet the halal standards, because a lot of the food, the vegetarian meals already do that. But
Okay.
it was more just like, you know, people like to go to the halal part, and that was like, you know.
You mean like Middle Eastern type of
They were asking,
food,
you know,
or?
people were asking for
There's
that.
a wide variety of different foods that are on your
Like
menu,
a-
right?
Chicken kebab, or, I don't know. I'm sorry.
Halal Brothers, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
As always, great job, Gina, and then Kerry, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, welcome everyone for my favorite budget presentation, not only because it's the last one, but the second half of the presentation, we kind of bring it all together to show you, to illustrate where the money is going and talk about the buildings and what's going on in each of the buildings. So always enjoy this one. So this is the tax levy cap actual calculation. As you can see, it's a little more complicated than just adding 2% to the prior year's tax levy. It's 8 parts. It has to do with the payments in lieu of taxes, the growth factor, tax-based growth factor, and also the capital exclusion. So I do want to point out the capital exclusion. You could see last year it was $1.5 million, and this year it's only $665,000. And the reason for that was the building aid that we received additionally in state aid that comes off the cap. So unfortunately, that gets backed out, and that's why our cap is lower than it typically is at 1.85%. And our proposed tax levy is just slightly underneath that at 1.84. This is not one that you saw yet, so I added a couple of slides since I forwarded it to the board. This is providing the history of the tax cap over the last 15 years. That's the top number, that's our actual tax cap for the district. The the bluish, I guess, line graph. The brighter green one is our actual tax levy on an annual basis. And you can see from 14-15 to 18-19, 5-year stretch of zeros, and actually 1 year, the tax levy was actually lower than the previous year. And then again in 21-22 and 22-23. And the average over that period of 15 years annually was 1.2%, so significantly below the tax cap. Looking at our budget summary, so this again is bringing everything that we talked about over the last few months, just summarizing the major categories. And overall, the budget-to-budget increase is 2.83, and our proposed tax levy again is 1.84. A couple of things I want to point out, significant change in state aid. The governor's proposal came out, and I think the meeting following that, that presentation from the governor showed us getting significant more dollars in state aid to the tune of a little more than $2 million. And of that 12.4, I know this question came up at the last meeting, BOCES aid equates to about $1.5 million of that 12.4 estimated for next year. I put a couple of charts together on the expenditure side. This chart just looks at the different categories of the budget: salaries, benefits, BOCES, supplies, equipment, etc. And obviously, just like any other district, the lion's share is salaries and benefits, because primarily we are a people business, and it's based on staff. The next slide is still the total expenditure, showing it in a different way. The state requires us to look at it in a 3-part component: program, capital, and administrative. We always present this part in the budget detail that's on the website every year after the board adopts. But I thought it would be good just to give you an idea in a pie chart. Program is 80%. Capital and administrative is 10%. Even though those numbers are different, administrative is 9.53, got rounded up to 10%, and capital was 10.35, got rounded down to 10%. So that's why they both reflect as 10%.
So in administrative, that's just salaries and benefits and support for administrative, or what's in administrative?
Yeah, so primarily the first presentation, and it would include supplies, equipment, anything in those administrative codes. The capital was where buildings and grounds would be, as well as the transfer to capital, the $1,275,000.
And so the capital will be maintenance of buildings when you say
Yeah,
buildings?
buildings, grounds, maintenance, etc.
Got it.
Revenue summary. So no surprise here. The Jericho School District, similar to other districts in Nassau County, receives, comparatively speaking, very little overall state aid, which is about 8%, and the lion's share is tax levy at 82%. So these are the projects, I'm going to zip through these a little bit. These are the projects we're physically doing this summer based on prior approvals that we already received. This is the capital reserve history. And again, that green portion at the bottom, we are recommending a new capital reserve to be set up, which also requires board resolutions eventually to fund it once it's set up, and then voter authorization to spend out of any reserve. So just because you set it up doesn't mean necessarily you fund it, and just because you fund it doesn't necessarily mean you are automatically going to do projects at that point. These are the highlighted items we were recommending. I'll go to the summary. The yellow highlights total just under $6 billion. And the way we're funding that is $1,275,000 out of the general fund budget and $4.7 million out of our already funded existing capital reserve. So proposition, so this is the actual language you will see on the ballot for proposition number 2. And then this is the actual language you'll see on proposition 3, which is funding a new capital reserve. So you'll notice there's a lot more words in this one than in this one. This is a little more specific to what we're actually looking at to do, you know, from the highlights, from all the highlighted items. This being that you're funding it, it's known, you try to put every possible project in there. This way it gives the board and the future boards flexibility to work within those parameters. Any questions up to this point before I introduce principals? Great. Let's start with Joanna. Again, this is one of my favorite parts. It kind of buttons up the whole budget process, and we can see how the money is being spent at each of the buildings.
Dina made me very, very hungry, and I thought she should have brought samples tonight. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm very happy to present on behalf of Dr. Rivera, Dr. Sapienza, and I about the elementary program. Our elementary program is consistently strong. It includes experiences that set a foundation for our students while also extending and enriching their knowledge and skills. From world languages to robotics to music and art, our students engage in a comprehensive interdisciplinary experience as they learn through the years. Our students who study they all study world languages starting in grade 1. So from grade 1 to 4, they study Spanish. In 5th grade, they're introduced to French and Italian. And also in grade 1 and 4, there are units, targeted units in Mandarin. So they do gain perspectives of various cultures, and they definitely broaden their global views. This year, the integration of the robotics unit continued in grade 4 and 5 and was extended to grade 3, transforming classrooms into a lab of critical thinking and collaborative problem solving. Further, each week, every student engages in physical education, general music, and art instruction. While they are developing their voices in chorus, they also get to select an instrument for band or orchestra in grades 4 and 5. And then beyond our classroom, the success of our students is definitely attributed to our amazing teachers. They work tirelessly and they never stop learning. So through the various professional learning experiences, our teachers continue to grow their skills, their knowledge, and repertoires for all kinds of learning experiences. So in recent years, they've been focusing on expanding engagement protocols within their classrooms. They've participated in the next level of responsive classroom training so that their classrooms are always places where children feel they belong and they have a safe space to be in throughout their school day. Also, they engage in professional learning that has to do with academics. So one of our areas that we expanded was in Hegarty instruction, so that was focused in kindergarten, expanded to grade 1 this year. And Dr. Sullivan is leading some instruction revolving around Bridges, which is a Hegarty intervention program. These programs not only help all of our students, but we find they're especially beneficial with our English language learners. So we cannot be more proud or impressed by our educators in the classroom. So thank you to our teachers. Lastly, I want to highlight the new addition to the elementary this year was we had 2 additional elementary clubs at the elementary level. This came out of interest from our community and also our passionate educators once again. So I'll just highlight 2 of them so you can get a sense of some of the things that were offered. So one of the clubs was the Globetrotters. This is Dr. Verish, probably very excited about this. Globetrotters offer students a vibrant and exciting space for students to explore and celebrate diverse cultures from around the world. Students delve into a variety of countries and regions of their choosing. The club advisor curates hands-on activities that spotlight art, music, food, celebrations, and history of places across our world. Students make crafts, learn songs, read stories, play authentic games, and take virtual field trips. These experiences enable students to become cultural ambassadors and even present their knowledge to their other Jackson student peers at events like Multicultural Night. So another club I'll highlight is our Press Club. So this was at JRS this year. So Press Club offered a unique and engaging opportunity for 3rd and 4th grade students to develop critical 21st century skills through lenses of media broadcasting. The club provided an interdisciplinary platform for our students to apply literacy, research, and communication skills in a tangible and exciting way. They made highly collaborative projects focusing on teamwork, shared responsibility. They used digital tools and had various publications throughout the year, so really impressed. So across our 3 elementary schools, we have those 2 additional elementary clubs. That's in addition to our safety patrols, our peer leaders, and various other opportunities for our elementary kids. So that's just a really quick, fast way of saying our kids are doing awesome, and they do awesome because of all of you. So we thank the board for their support. We thank the community at large. We thank all of you.
Appreciate it.
Next up, I'll invite Chad and Sarah to provide some of the accomplishments and highlights for the Jericho Middle School. Chad.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to share some middle school highlights tonight. So student success always rests on a strong foundation, and in Jericho, that foundation starts at home with families that support public education here. It's strengthened by the excellent work in our elementary schools, and of course, we benefit from the great support from the Board of Education and our central administration as well. For the 5th consecutive year, Jericho Middle School was rated the #1 suburban middle school in New York State by US News and World Report. That consistency over time speaks to the expertise of our teachers and their dedication, as well as our students. Our students also received more New York State Archives Student Research Awards than any other middle school in the state, a testament to the research that our students do all year long in their social studies classes. And finally, once again, we're proud to be designated a school to watch by the National Forum to Accelerate Middle Grades Reform. That's a designation given to students, or given to schools for their academic excellence, as well as supporting students through a unique period of development in the middle school years. So a little bit about the middle school program. At the heart of our program is a structure designed to make sure that every student is well known. In our large school of 819 students, teachers work together on instructional teams. And those teams ensure that every student is well known by their teachers, and it's designed to support students throughout the year. Students also participate in a NEST advisory program. The NEST advisory is designed to strengthen students' sense of connection with teachers and with each other. Students meet regularly with one teacher in a small group, and they discuss things relevant to middle school life. Our teachers are continuing to engage in innovative forms of professional development, as you heard in the elementary schools. In the middle school, our focus is on intervisitations. That's an opportunity for teachers to visit and observe each other's classrooms and bring back the great pedagogical skills they see in their peers' classrooms to their own classroom. And students have the opportunity to take on multiple leadership roles throughout the year in the middle school. Junior librarians and literacy leaders are two examples of those. They really help build a culture of literacy throughout the year, and that takes place right here in the library where you're sitting. And to ensure that every student receives the support they need, we utilize a response to intervention framework. We also have a full continuum of special education services and a strong E&L program to ensure that every student has the support they need. Of course, strong partnerships with parents and our community continue to enhance the program at the middle school. We have a strong partnership with the Nassau County Bar Association, with Long Island Cares, and with some support dog organizations that have come into our community service learning classes. I'd like to take a moment to introduce someone who works closely with our students and staff and families each day and plays a critical role in supporting our students. Please welcome our assistant principal, Ms. Sarah Belluccio.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you to every single person in this room. And I just also want to give a special thank you to our curriculum associates that we have such great collaboration with, and a lot of the things that we're talking about tonight is because of the work that we do so closely with you, so thank you. And to our teachers at home, if any of you are watching, and we have a few here, again, all of this is because of the hard work that you do. We really encourage our students to take ownership of their learning. We have 18 electives running this year, and we have 41 clubs, from Lego robotics to current events, and if you smell the hallways, sometimes our culinary arts, our little chefs. Students can learn skills that are directly related to their interests. Our research programs allow for autonomy and student choice. In 8th grade, our students have math research, science competitions at the local, the state, the national level. And this year we added a new course to our explorations in science. It's called the Science of Sound. And the students studied sound waves, but then they designed, with the technical aspect, they designed their own ukuleles. So we're gonna serenade you tonight, get them. But if you take a look at this, our students made this. They drafted it, they learned about the physics of the sound. They went into the technical programs, they built them, they carved them, they made all the designs, and then they had a really wonderful celebration of learning. But it's just something so new and so special in our school this year. I'll learn to play it next time for you.
National History Day, we had our Revolution, Reaction, and Reforms. Every 7th and 8th grader is participating in self-driven history topics. Our teachers, our librarian work tirelessly and to make all of this work, and the students are learning such important skills and things that they're interested in. Many of them are advanced to the Long Island competition, which I believe is March 22nd, Dr. Sundberg, at Hofstra University, so good luck to all of them. We are still offering 4 languages. We have Spanish, Chinese, Italian, and French, really building on the elementary school program. Everyone has a club that's associated with it by choice if the students want to, field trips, and also a lot of culinary experiences so that the students can have the cultural experience along with the fluency development. Our performing arts program, our students are learning to express themselves. It's team building, it's confidence building, it's the discipline that's happening through band, chorus, orchestra, and theater. Tonight we had the opening of Big Bad, and I hope our students outsmarted that wolf. And we also have a show tomorrow, if you didn't get a chance to see it. And in the fall, we had our Shrek the Musical. It was pretty wonderful. Diversity this day was golden. We love our K-pop demon hunters, so that was our theme. And we had our students and staff on stage really trying to embrace that theme of community and unity, togetherness, so we were pretty golden. And a huge thank you to the PTSA for the amazing cultural feast that they put on for every single student in the building. It's a wonderful way for us to get the traditions that are coming from home and all of the wonderful things that make our community special. We also have continuing our Ulvaeus bullying prevention program. Many of you were part of that. We were so excited to once again have our 5th graders join us. And throughout the year, we have our brave ambassadors. They're students who are trained in bullying prevention techniques. They go into the middle school and do lessons. They go into the elementary schools, and they just try to keep that message going all year long. Our personal best initiatives are, we know that every student succeeds in different ways, so we try to highlight that with just different recognition throughout the year. In April, we're going to have a pep rally, we have another ceremony, student-led learning opportunities, it's really special. And finally, our field trips. Washington, D.C., our overnights, thank you to those staff members who bravely go overnight with 8th graders, it is wonderful. And our Philadelphia trip is coming up in next month. We had United Skates, we have Broadway shows, and one of my personal experience this year was so amazing to be in Washington, D.C. We went to the Lowell Milken Center for Advancing the American Dream. It's a new museum, and our students' artwork was hanging on there, the students who won the Artifacts competition. So Jericho is truly on display for the world to see, and there's a lot of great things happening here.
Good job, both of you, thank you. Next, I'm going to invite Ruth to come up and give us a summary on the fine and performing arts for Jericho.
Good evening, everyone. I'm so honored to present tonight because it's the month of March, and March is when we celebrate Youth Art Month and Music in Our Schools Month, too. So with all of that, I want to start by saying the slide that you're seeing tonight has music, visual arts, and theater clubs right next door. So without going through all of the things underneath it, I just wanted to say I had a great time finding pictures in my phone to show tonight. The first picture that you see by music is the brand new theater at Jackson Elementary School. And that just opened this year. And under visual arts, you'll see one of our community events called Cookies and Canvas. And that is, I knew you'd like that one, Desiree. That's a really special night that brings our community together to make artwork together and have cookies. And then our next picture is our theater and clubs, where you can see all of our student actors on stage wearing beautiful costumes and expressing themselves that way. So while I begin tonight, I want to make sure that I don't forget anything, so I do have a script to go by. First, I'm especially grateful to present and thank all of you in this room. Particularly thank you to the Board of Education, Dr. Kravitz, our central administration for their continued support. Your commitment allows us to make thoughtful allocations of resources and provide meaningful funding that strengthen opportunities for all of our students. So this month has already been filled with exciting opportunities. Highlights included the ASA All-County Art Exhibit, the high school musical, the middle school drama, which we were just talking about. And yesterday, we had a special guest conductor who visited. Her name was Sun-Hee Newbold, and she came to spend the whole day with us in our orchestras. This is somebody who is internationally recognized, who composes music for K-12 orchestras, and our students got to meet her. It was like having a celebrity here. They took pictures, they got her autograph, and now her name isn't just a name on their music. She's actually a person who joined our Jericho family. So we're really proud of that event that we had yesterday. And I want to thank all of the teachers who made that happen. All of the things that I'm talking tonight would not have been possible without their creativity and them bringing all of these programs to our students. So our music program continues to thrive across all grade levels. We are incredibly proud of the many ensembles and performances that bring our community together, including concerts, adjudication festivals, and special events throughout the year. This year, we successfully implemented the DeCapo Inventory Parent Portal. And I want to thank Victor for helping us get that started, and also Melissa, who's not here. So this was a brand new program that helped us make payment option through credit card for NYSSMA, for field trips, and also for our Jericho Summer Music Program that will be coming up. An example of how this was successful was with our NYSSMA registrations. We have 663 NYSSMA registrations for this year. 430 of those transactions were through credit card, representing about 65% of our total collections. And this shows how DeCapo Music Inventory has provided us with an efficient and transparent way to pay for this activity. We also have continued to enhance our equipment. Some of the examples about for this are some fun things. This year we included electric violins in our pit, and we expanded our keyboard sound capabilities for our musical theater performers, which included buying patches and being able to have the authentic sound for the ABBA music that you heard just last week. These enhancements allowed students to explore contemporary sound and prepare for modern performance settings. We were grateful for the renovations made in the auditorium at Jackson, the Jackson Elementary School. I already talked about that one, that's the one's up there. And it created an upgraded performance space for students. All right, I'm going to go to visual arts now. Our visual arts program continued to provide students with opportunities to explore creativity through a wide range of mediums. Students are actively participating in exhibitions and competitions, including the ASA All-County exhibit. We had 24 students feature their work there, and that work has now come back to the district. We will be showing it right here in the lobby. Starting next week, we'll have a new display so that we can have it up throughout the whole month of Youth Art Month. We are especially proud of the interdisciplinary exploratory model of all of our arts instruction that engages students to learn and express themselves. One of the most memorable experiences was the nighttime astrophotography trip. That was an amazing trip. Students learned how to capture the night sky using long exposure techniques, combining artistic vision and technical skill. Standing at the beach under the stars became a truly unforgettable experience, one that blended science, art, and wonder. Opportunities like this will be remembered forever. Theater and performing arts. Our theater program continues to bring storytelling, music, and performance to life in powerful ways. We are still so incredibly proud of the recent high school production of Mamma Mia, which demonstrated tremendous collaboration among students, directors, musicians, stage crew, and technical teams. Our middle school drama production also continues to grow, giving younger students the opportunity to develop their talents both on stage and behind the scenes, with hopes of being involved when they get to high school. Looking ahead this month, still in March, can you believe it? Still ahead in March, we look forward to hosting our piano this weekend. Piano NYSSMA will be Friday and Saturday. We had a parade of 15 brand new pianos rented by NYSSMA arrive here on Monday. and they will be instrumental in our success. We will be celebrating the induction of our students in the National Arts, Thespian, and Triumph Honor Societies. These students work so hard. I can't tell you how proud we are of them and all of their service that they provide to our community. I also want to mention that the high school jazz band will represent the community with a performance at the New York State Capitol this month on March 31st in honor of Music in Our Schools Month. Next month, let the spring concert season begin. We'll also be traveling to Hershey Park and much more. These events truly show how our students continue to share their talents by representing our district with pride. Looking even further ahead, past March and April and May and June, we are planning our 2027 Florida Arts Trip, which will bring together students from band, orchestra, chorus, and visual arts, with the possibility of including dance as well. We are exploring an exciting itinerary that might expand the traditional Disney experience to also include Universal Studios, the new Epic Park, offering students an inspiring blend of performance and educational experiences. We are proud to share that we have once again applied for the Best Communities in Music Education. And this year, we have additionally applied for the first year being offered the NYSADA Vision endorsement. This is a distinction that recognizes excellence in visual arts programs. The results for both of these will be released next month in April.
Sorry, did you say that you have kids performing at the Capitol?
At the Capitol Building in Albany.
Ah, okay.
I missed the Albany part. Hopeful that continued commitment and dedication will once again be recognized. Jericho students truly continue to reach for the stars and shine everywhere they go. None of this would be possible without the unwavering support of the entire community. The arts bring people together, and together we ensure that every student can discover their creativity and find their voice. Thank you for your time this evening and for your continued support of the fine and performing arts.
Ruth, very nice job, thank you, appreciate it. Moving on to the last piece, Brian, Michaela, and Jim to talk about the high school.
Thank you very much. Glad to be back again. I want to thank the Board of Education, Central Administration for the opportunity to talk about and give you a little bit of an understanding of what's going on at the high school. I'm going to start with the academic end of the high school. One of the things we're really proud about with respect to the high school is our incredible depth and breadth within each of our disciplines. In the high school, we offer 27 AP courses and at least slightly over 38 college-level courses. We have, within our disciplines, we have opportunities for students to delve into their interests, and we offer 4-year sequences in science, social science, and mathematics research. We offer multiple languages throughout the high school, and we have opportunities in engineering, robotics, and video production. In our business department, I'll talk about in a couple of moments our new offering in business and personal finance, but we offer an array of business courses. What we really try to do within the high school is give students an opportunity to explore their interests and passions, and not only take a core curriculum within their day, but also have an opportunity to explore a lot of other opportunities. In our English and Language and Arts department, we have multiple classes along with a pursuit of happiness and creative writing and broadcasting. We offer family and consumer science classes and agricultural classes in the high school. As Ruth was just talking about, we want to make sure we ensure that the fine and performing arts are explored by all of our students. And one of our incredible things in our phys ed department is that we have a lot of individualized opportunities for students to explore some of their interests. We have a possibility of 4 classes this year that were offered to students. We have advanced placement, business, personal finances, clinical healthcare, 3D Unity coding and design, and made in Italy. We're in the process of our scheduling process, so based on interest, there's a possibility that some or many of these classes will be running this current school year. I'm here also with Michaela Finley, who'll talk a little bit about some of the ways we ensure the well-rounded student.
Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to present. So in addition to instruction, we are so proud of the extracurricular activities that we offer at the high school, which continue to give our students a well-rounded experience and also support us in being a leading high school. We have so many different leadership opportunities for kids. So student council, if you've heard, Battle of the Classes is tomorrow. We're very excited. And we went over a lot of our clubs and service organizations, which continue to allow our kids to refine, develop soft skills for lifelong learning and take on leadership opportunities. It's insane to think that we're already considering officers for next school year in a good way. Mental health and supporting our students' needs is always a top priority, and we are really grateful to the board for all of your ongoing support. This year we did make some upgrades in Cafe 126 when it comes to some technology and ways for students to connect with one another. So again, we appreciate your support and we look forward to more opportunities.
Thank you. So every year when I start looking at our numbers with respect to graduation rates and many of our students winning many awards, I'm not surprised, I'm elated at looking at some of these numbers every single year. We have a 99% graduation rate, and you can see up there also our Regents diploma rate and our advanced Regents diploma rates. This year we had 33 National Merit committed students, 23 finalists, and 5 National Merit winners. 90% of our students of the class of last year's data, took at least one advanced placement class over their career, and you can see the numbers of some of the different numbers that came out throughout the year. This year, we know we had 10 Regeneron scholars, up the top 300 in the nation, and we have 1 Regeneron finalist that we'll find out in a little bit. Today, we had 3 students win at LICEF that will be participating at our International Science and Engineering Fair in May, with the opportunity for more students to win when we have our NICEF competition. As Brett talked about last couple weeks ago, we had 21 consecutive New York Scholar athletes, the only school in New York State to obtain that distinction. And also, last week, Tristan Yang, one of our students, was the state champion in diving. I'm going to now bring up Mr. Jim Mendonis, that's going to talk a little bit about ways our students can show off their experiences.
Thank you, everybody. Yes, so our competitions are quite numerous. This is really where our kids get to shine and take what they've learned in school and apply it in a real-world situation under extreme pressure, and we know our kids do such a great job. Not only do they get the personal accolades and team accolades, but they also, it also helps develop their soft skills of, communicating and being up and presenting, and everything that is involved in that process. I'll just point out a couple since there's so many here. We already heard about National History Day, something like, mock trial. Kids get up and they get to think on their feet, they get to defend a position. Virtual enterprise, kids get to run a virtual company and make timely decisions for that company. We have our world language exams. We all know about Regeneron, and we were talking about what makes it in the paper. There was another article in Newsday today about our Regeneron finalists, so that was great to see. We have things like the Congressional Art Competition, where kids submit artwork and the winners can be, their pieces can be hanging in the Capitol building. So we have great opportunities for kids, great learning opportunities both in and outside of school, so we're very proud of that.
Thank you, and I want to thank our whole teamwork that makes it so incredible. It's our families, it's our Board of Education, it's our Central Administration, it's our teachers, our curriculum associates, all working together to create incredible opportunities for our students. Thank you.
Great job, thank you. And that wraps up this budget presentation. I want to take an opportunity to thank all of our administrative cabinet, their teamwork in putting the budget together. It's a lengthy process, last several months, obviously, and I want to thank the Board of Education for all of their input during the process as well. March 26th is the adoption of the budget by the Board of Ed, and that's I believe, a full regular board meeting. Thank you.
So just to echo what Mr. Manuel was saying, include him in the praise for everyone in the business office who works extremely hard and to get these presentations put together, and Ms. Melita who helps them make sure these presentations are distributed and put together. So thank you to her also. As Mr. Manuel said, on the 26th, we will hopefully put forward a budget to the community, or we will put forward a budget to the community, recommended budget that will be voted on in May. As I talked about at the beginning of the meeting, we do have an abbreviated meeting tonight for reasons that go without mentioning. Do I have a motion to table our discussions on policy sections 5,000 and policy sections 3,000? Thank you, Mrs. Martin. Do I have a second? Thank you, Dr. Balachandra. All in favor of tabling 5,000, 3,000? Thank you. And then I think we also still have to table, even though Mr. Christmas not here, any second reading of the 1,000s, 2,000s, and 4,000s that we had the first reading on before. We have to keep tabling them until we have a second reading. Do I have a motion to table those? Thank you, Mr. Citron. Second, Mr. Jin. Thank you. All in favor of tabling the 1,000, 2,000, and 4,000s? All in favor? Thank you. 5-0. We will get to the policy manual. It will be completed this school year. You can take that to the bank. With that, does anyone have anything to add before we adjourn? Oh, I will have it, though I know you people will be quiet. Opportunity for the public to be heard. If you'd like to make a comment or ask a question, please approach the microphone, tell us your name, if you represent a group, your affiliation. If you'd like your statement to be included, you must hand a handwritten copy of your remarks to our district clerk, Victor Manning, before leaving tonight. As always, I apologize. My deepest apologies, Dr. Hartnett. As always, public discussion on matters related to staff and students during which their reputation, privacy, or right to due process or those of others could in some way be violated is prohibited. Dr. Hartnett, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Is this on? Yeah. Okay. Dear members of the Board of Education and Superintendent Kravitz, we've had a very rough few weeks of loss at Jericho. As participants thoroughly committed to this community, the Jericho teachers, counselors, and support staff are haunted and deeply saddened by these losses. In our desire for solace, we return to the rhythms of the classroom and the school day as a means to give normalcy and stability to students. New ideas and concepts are always ballasted by the familiarity, both of the teacher's presence and the classroom environment. In these difficult times, we are committed to providing spaces where students feel comfortable and safe in their own skins. Whatever challenges students are confronting in their years of development, right through the awkwardness, the embarrassment, and the questioning that accompanies adolescence, we are there to offer kind and caring support. Indeed, the curriculum provides much of the heavy lifting here, presenting teachers and students alike with reason and purpose, binding us as fellow passengers on this journey of learning and exploration. We continue our quest to do better and be better. So, during this rough period of loss, I thought now is a good moment to reaffirm what we do, since this collective spirit brings us strength in these most trying times. Thank you, Mike Hartnett, Jericho Teachers Association.
Thank you, Dr. Hartnett, for expressing a sentiment that I think is shared by everyone on this board and everyone in this room. Before we close, anyone else, any opportunity for the public to be heard? The public has been heard very eloquently. Thank you again, Dr. Hartnett. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Thank you, Mrs. Martin. Second. Thank you, Dr. Balachandra. All in favor of motion? Thank you very much. We'll see you on the 26th at Jackson Elementary School for the rescheduled Jackson Elementary School location meeting. Well, curriculum, I mean, yes.